So when I'm going to say a few things, then the commissioner's going to say a few things, and then Travis will start. So I don't know if that helps you in trying to figure out. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to say
Making sure people are awake. That's all I'm doing. I'm here to help.
one-on-ones after each coach has gone and they've gone back to introduce the commissioner of the Mountain East Conference. Commissioner Amos will be beginning his 6th year in the league. In addition to many of the team and individual successes that the conference has had during his leadership, the MEC has expanded its championships offering to 20. And the conference has been selected as a host or co-host to several national championships, including softball and women's lacrosse, and this next spring in 2019 will serve as a co-host for the men's golf national championship at Glade Springs. Commissioner Amos is currently a member of the NCAA Division II Football Committee, and earlier this calendar year he was selected as the chair of that committee. So to get things started, I'd like to turn things over to the Commissioner of the Mountain East Conference, Mr. Reed Amos.
Just a few words to get things underway, as we commonly have this time of year. Initially, it's great to see this event continue to grow. It's wonderful to see that we needed to expand to the entire ballroom over our 5 years, and we thank the media for your coverage and for your turnout today. The Mountain East Conference was founded with a belief that a group of institutions with similar enrollments, similar budgets, similar goals, similar capacities to compete that were like-minded would have the ability to significantly enhance the quality of competition among its membership, and that enhanced competition would prepare our institutions to be highly competitive in NCAA postseason play. While some change will come to the Mountain East Conference in 2019, the MEC will continue to be a conference of like-minded institutions, which we expect to continue to be highly competitive among one another and in NCAA postseason play. In team sports, where the MEC has conference championships, our continuing members have claimed 2 NCAA Division II national championships over the first 5 years of the Mountain East, a first in our team sports for any of our institutions at the NCAA level. Wheeling Jesuit and women's volleyball in 2015, and since our last preseason media day, the University of Charleston claimed a men's soccer national title last fall in Kansas City. Our continuing membership has had 6 national championship appearances by the aforementioned institutions, and both West Liberty and Fairmont State have played for the men's basketball national championship since the formation of the MEC. 11 national semifinal appearances among them. Our members have had a collective winning record in the NCAA postseason head-to-head versus our fellow Atlantic Region conferences in team sports. With the coming membership changes, we anticipate an expansion of our MEC championship offerings as well. At our founding, the Mountain East administrated 16 conference championship sports, equaling the most ever that any of our members had enjoyed in any conference. In 2018-19, the Mountain East will expand to 20 conference championship events. By 2020, the MEC expects to reach as many as 22 or 23 conference championship sports, one short of the most championship sports administrated by any NCAA Division II conference. These new championships will continue to increase opportunities for student athletes at all of our institutions, while additionally contributing to the overall health of our institutions. We have been very pleased to announce the addition of Frostburg State, pending their acceptance into the NCAA Division II membership process. With acceptance, Frostburg will join us in 2019 and will become the largest enrollment institution in the MEC. The efforts of our MEC membership committee continue as they review institutions which have expressed interest in joining the Mountain East. The unprecedented success of our membership in this conference has generated significant interest among prospective members for our league. Despite many doubts at the formation of our conference, the MEC's membership has continued to rise under its collective umbrella. We expect continuing successes for the membership of the Mountain East. The state of the Mountain East is strong. In returning to a focus of football, I'd like to take just a moment to acknowledge our football supervisor of officials, Gene Sterator, who was just with our coaches but now has to make his way to Latrobe, Pennsylvania for obligations. Gene is now in his 6th season overseeing our officiating program in the Mountain East, and with his leadership, I am very pleased with what I believe is a model officiating program for NCAA Division II Gene most recently served as the referee for Super Bowl 52 and since has announced his retirement from officiating, as he will be taking his talents to the broadcast booth working for the NFL on CBS and will be part of NCAA basketball March Madness coverage also on CBS. Again, Gene met with our coaches earlier this morning, but had to depart despite his not being able to be here for this portion of our media day. I'd like to publicly say we are tremendously fortunate to have someone of his experience and knowledge to continue to lead our officiating program. Thank you to Gene, and we congratulate you on all of your successes. While we've talked about the future, we now focus on what should be an exciting upcoming season. We look forward to what should be a very exciting fall, during which Charleston will defend its soccer national title in men's soccer. It should be an exciting football season as well. We look forward to the 2019 MEC basketball tournament at West Banco Arena in Wheeling, presented by the Health Plan, as we have experienced unprecedented support as we enter a new era with our MEC basketball tournament. The spring season should be highly competitive as well, so we look forward to what 2018-19 has to offer. With that, thank you to Travis Jones, who will serve as our MC for today's football media event, and good luck to all of our teams this season. Thanks, Travis.
Thank you to Reed, Adam, and the MEC staff for inviting me to be the MC today on behalf of the Metro News Radio and Television Networks. It's my pleasure to be here today. I look forward to continuing our Thursday night package again this season, giving unprecedented coverage to the Mountain East Conference in football. First, the podium today, we welcome Wheeling Jesuit head coach Zach Bruni. The Cardinals are ready for a club year of football this year before officially lining up for varsity competition in 2019. Please welcome to the podium to talk about the Cardinals and their progress up to this point, the head coach of the Wheeling Jesuit football program, Zach Bruni.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you to Reed and Adam and the MEC staff for a great venue and a great morning of meetings with the head coaches here. So a couple brief thank yous from myself to our people back home in Wheeling, our new president, Dr. Michael Mahalo, our exiting president, Dr. Deborah Townsley, Dr. Dan Dentino, Rudy Jovich, Carrie Hanna, Chris Myers, our SID who's here today. Just some brief thoughts as we kind of get rolling here, but thanks to our staff. This has been a labor of love to this point, and to our incoming players and families, it's new. They had to trust a lot of the unknown to jump on board with us. So we report Sunday. Some of the guys here have already reported. So we'll have 73 young men reporting to camp. We're excited for the challenge of this fall. It will actually be a junior varsity season where we'll play 8 contests, 1 scrimmage. Our first scrimmage of the year will be up at Cornell University. The Ivy League, they carry freshman teams, so we'll get to go up there and scrimmage with them a little bit. But I think our main ideas and our main goals for this fall is just to establish a brand of continuity, hard work, dedication, just like the young men that we have out here today from the other teams. We're excited to be a part of this conference and join the fray in football. I came from a Division II school in another league. The Mountain East is highly respected nationally because of the head coaches here up front, and then representing the teams and the players and the type of athletes that are in this league. So we're very excited to be a part of this. We're very fortunate to have an opportunity to start a program from the ground up. It's been a labor of love, a lot of hard work, a lot of unknown, but we'll see. We'll see when things get rolling on Sunday, and we're excited. So congrats to these guys up front here. We'll be watching, of course, playing a lot of games on Sundays. It'll be fun to follow the Saturday MEC contest, Thursday nights, just like we did last fall. So, and then we're excited to join the fray in 19 and get rolling. So thank you to everybody again, and best of luck to the young men out here. I'm excited not to have to see some of you in 19 too. So thank you.
Concord Mountain Lions return 7 starters on offense, including offensive lineman Derek Dressler and quarterback Adam Fulton, and 7 more on defense, including Justin Noble and Shadler Shepard. Please welcome to the podium to preview the Concord Mountain Lions head coach Paul Price.
Good afternoon, everyone. I had the dubious honor of talking first because our vote by the other coaches, we are 11th. And I don't know if Coach Cater, excuse me, that's not Coach Cater anymore, is it? If Ernie deserves to be ranked number 1, because I know Coach Woodman at Fairmont has received some votes, and a couple other teams, 4 as a matter of fact. So it's debatable who the best team in our league is. But right now, it's pretty clear that by our record, we are in the basement. We start at the bottom, work our way up. That's who we are, and that's we're going to own it. We're going to move forward from here. And you know, I think that I owe it to my AD and president, who've been super supportive behind me the whole way to put a better product on the field. I owe it to the student body, everybody, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm a man of my word, and I want to bring this program along and be competitive. I've been every record there is to be in my coaching career. You can probably look at me and see I've been around a little bit. I've been 0-11, and I've been 11-0, and everything in between. So I've experienced a lot of it, and I want to do one thing that I've never done before, and one thing no one ever done before is go from worst to the best in this league. Everybody sitting up here in front looking back at you wants the same thing, and that's why our league is so great. We all compete for that championship top to bottom every week, and it's a great league to watch. It's a great league to take your kids to watch your games, and it's very enjoyable Saturday and Thursday nights to come out and see us. But now you might think that maybe I've hit my head or something to say, wow, you're the lowest ranked team and you want to win the championship. Well, I was in a car accident recently and broke part of my hand and a couple ribs, and they x-rayed my head too. And the doctor assured me that I'm perfectly sane. So I'm up here telling you that we can compete and be a force in this league and come back around. I think that in 2008 when I came to Concord, right in that era, we were struggling, and with about the same people we had, we were able to muster a winning record. Coach Wim was part of that staff. Remember, very exciting to be part of what goes on when a team starts rebounding and working its way back up to be competitive. And I think that there's no doubt about it. Everybody at the front table, except for Zach, of course, I've competed favorably against. There's no reason to believe, with what I'm seeing our program and how we're developing, that can happen right now, 2018. So the things I do for sure is, if you want to get ahead in football, you got to work hard. I've been in football 47 years. I've never worked harder. And when you do that, good things are going to happen. And they're happening right in front of us, right in Athens, West Virginia, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of. I think people make the difference, without a doubt. And we've got the right people in place. After 3 years of being head coach and moving things around and fighting through all the tough times, it's finally right. And we're going to have an environment right now in our football program where we can win a lot of games. And we plan on starting this year and being very competitive in that nature. A couple things about our team. If we are going to make the inroads that I plan on making, we've got to do it first with special teams. And we've got 2 very dynamic returners. That's where it all starts. Tywan Pierce and Shadler Shepard are as good as I've had the fortune of coaching from the special teams aspect of it. We have long snappers. We have 2 very good kickers, even though we've got to replace an All-American punter. We've got a guy in the wings that certainly get that job done. Adam Fulton, our quarterback, will also share the punting responsibilities. Offensively, Adam Fulton is our quarterback as of today. And it's an enjoyable statement because and I know when you're figuring out who your quarterback is, you are spinning your wheels. We know who it is right now who's going to make that run for us and, start up for us on day one. And he came in about the 4th game last year and really set the record straight and settled us down and made us competitive second part of that season. Offensive line, we got 4 people that are solid players: Nate Toney, Derek Dressler, Jack Skidmore, Mark Large, all solid players in this league, and all upperclassmen, all played together for a period of time, and we're excited to see them play. J.J. Burris will be carrying the ball for us, along with some other freshmen at the running back position to alleviate some pressure there. Tywan Pierce, Brandon Plyler are two returning receivers, great players, great kids. Brandon Plyler is a member of the final for the Good Works team that All-State puts out. So he's done a lot of things, volunteering and helping the community in many ways. Defensively, we've got a couple of guys up front. Justin Noble's been around forever in this league, and he'll be a force with us. Ryan Gatchell's another one. Zach Malone, Andrew Jakubowski, linebacker. They're both seniors. Again, 100 tackle guys that have been around the football an awful lot. Our secondary will be the strength of our team, and Charlier Shepard there, who's here today. Jonathan Roebuck, Keyshawn Hall, and Jaquil Surim will also support us there. But all that being said, we've got a limited number of seniors, only 7. We trimmed the fat this winter. We busted our tails. Anybody that wasn't ready to stick with us went a different direction. That's just the way it works sometimes, and that's who we had to beat. A couple of closing remarks here. And, it's finally a team that I can be proud to coach. I say as a head coach, that's what you strive for. You want to build a team that you can be proud to coach. This is one of those teams. So I don't care what the results are. I'm very happy to have that team to coach. And lastly, I think really that, we're not going to be ready to beat everybody we play this year. It's too good a league. But we can beat any single team on any given afternoon or night that we play. And that makes for an exciting situation for us and for everybody we're going to play. So I thank all you guys for listening. It's a great crowd here today. And if this is any indication of where the league's going, I think we're going to be in great shape. Thank you very much.
Our band has continued to make progress under head coach Tyler Haynes as the Blue Knights have added more wins in each of his first 3 seasons, including 5 last year. Our band will have to replace some key offensive weapons from last year and will be likely led by a defensive unit that includes all conference standouts DeRay Hall and Mikkel Tolliver. Here with more on the Blue Knights, please welcome head coach Tyler Haynes.
Thank you for that. I'd like to first off thank Reed and Adam for putting on this event. I'd like to thank all the media for coming out. It gets bigger every year. I'd like to welcome Coach Bruni and Coach McCook to the league as head coaches. I'd like to congratulate the Shepherd staff last year on the season they had in representing us in the playoffs. We're going on our 4th season at Urbana University, and seems like just yesterday I was up here for the first time, and here I am a couple years later talking to you all again. I'm excited about the 2018 Blue Knights. We have a large group, both offensively and defensively, returning. We have the most talented incoming recruiting class, both transfers and freshmen, that we've ever had. It always comes down to close games. And looking back at the 3 years that I've had prior to this, I think we've taken steps both in the win and loss column, but also from a standpoint of first year, weren't in a lot of close games. Second year, lost a lot of close games. Third year, won some, lost some close games. It's going to come down to the same thing as mentioned by the other coaches. This league is a tough league, a lot of parity top to bottom, and I just know that it's going to come down to those last couple drives every single game. And hopefully this camp, one of our goals is to develop a team toughness that we're the ones standing at the end. So that's our goal. Looking at our Blue Knights this year, I always start on special teams as well, as Coach did. We returned senior punter Brandon Perk, ranked 20th nationally last year, had 24 punts inside the 20-yard line and not a single touchback. I don't know if that's ever been done before, but a pretty good stat, and we'll rely on Brandon heavily this year. Defensive line, led by first-team all-conference defensive end Michael Tolliver, who's here with us today. Also returned junior defensive end Najee Davenport and junior defensive tackle Jamari Collins up front. Linebacker position, we are led by first-team all-conference linebacker junior DeRay Hall, who's also here with us, 100-plus tackler both the last 2 years, and sophomore L.A. Kelly. The defensive backfield, we returned junior Sherman Watson, as well as junior Chris Richardson. On offense, we returned 4 of the 5 starters, led by our guys up front, led by Doug Harden, senior center for us, been playing a lot of football. And we'll go as far offensively as our offensive line takes us. We know that. We like having those 4 guys back, as well as a couple big-time transfers and recruits that we think can step in and push those guys. Some of their names, junior Dylan Swanson, senior Rustin Potakov, and junior Mike Mollahan have all played a lot of games for us. We'll all be back. At running back, we return all our running backs and add a couple more. We'll be led by junior Maurice Warren. Wide receiver, we did, as mentioned before, we lost a lot of yards and touchdowns in our receiving core this year. We have plenty of guys coming back, and we recruited some more, but 2 guys coming back for us. Shamar Hooks will be a senior, and Phil Dozier will be a sophomore. Haven't talked a lot about the newcomers coming in, but as I said before, it's by far the largest and most talented group, transfer and freshman-wise, that we've had in the last 3 years. And I know that they'll not only fill the holes on our team that we do have, but also push the current guys that I've already named, to pushing them to be the best team that we can be. As Coach said before, I'm a man of my word, and I've said we're always going to get better every single year. We've done that so far for 3 years, but this is a very important year for our program because we've went from a bottom feeder to a middle-of-the-pack team. It's, can we take that step where we're not voted 10th anymore? Can we do that? And I'll come down to hard work, dedication, pride, day in, day out, and we'll let the pieces fall as they may. But I'm excited about this team, more excited than I have been, and I fully believe, and more importantly, my team and my staff believe, we're going to take that next step. So I wish everybody up here a healthy camp, all the coaches good luck, and we look forward to the season. Go Blue Knights.
After a bit of a sluggish start last season, Glenville went 4-4 down the stretch, 2 of those losses coming by less than a touchdown and 1 in overtime. Pioneers welcome back 9 starters on offense, 8 more on defense. Please welcome now, getting ready to start his 2nd season with the Pioneers, the head coach at Glenville State, Eric Smith.
Thank you. It's obviously an honor and a privilege to be standing up here in front of you guys today, representing Glenville State College. I wish there were some things there that you did say are true, but we aren't returning 8 starters on defense. I wish we were. However, we'll get to that here in a little bit. But again, thank you to Reed Amos, the Mountain East Conference. You guys, 2nd year being here, you guys continue to put on nothing but a first-class show. So again, thank you guys for that. New athletic director, Mr. Jesse Skiles. This is going on my 3rd athletic director in just a little over a year here at Glenville State College. And without a doubt, I love working for him. He's very passionate for what he does. He's very competitive. He comes from West Virginia Wesleyan as a head and women's track coach, cross-country coach, and he brings over 60 conference championships to Glenville State College. So he's bringing something to our athletic department that we've never had before, and that's a winning tradition. So I have no doubt that that's going to spread within our program. So very excited to work for him. 2017 season was a season of ups and downs. Going into it, we knew that it was going to be pretty rough, a little rough. We wanted to be very, very competitive, and we were. We started 27 true freshmen last year in 2017, and 5 out of the 7 we lost with 8 points or less. So we were very, very competitive, and obviously we wanted to win a lot more games. However, we're on the right track at Glenville State College, and we're really looking forward to the future. 2018 season, we reported yesterday. We had 105 guys report yesterday, and we will have another 20 report on the 16th, the 13th for school. And had a lot of good-looking young men. No surprises, thank goodness. I know that's always a concern when you have report date. But everybody we thought was going to come showed up, and we're looking forward to that. Offensively, we returned 8 starters. And really looking forward to what we have back up front. We returned 3 offensive starters, and they are all freshmen. So they got a lot of playing time last year. Starting quarterback Jalen McNair was a true freshman last year. Started 9 games for us, and his ceiling is the limit. And we're excited to what he's going to bring to the table, and he's going to be a good one. Glenville State College has always been known for their great quarterbacks, and I truly believe he's going to be one of the great ones. So 2 all-conference wide receivers, Austin Ratliff and Javon Butler. Austin is with us today. Austin is a guy that does a lot for us. He's a long snapper. He's a returner. He wants to play defense. However, I'm probably not going to let him because he does a lot for us on offense. He's a Wildcat quarterback, and he's very good, and he's good at what he does, and we're excited that he's going to have his senior season going to be a good one. Javon Butler is another all-conference wide receiver for us last year. second team. He was also our punter. And he is athletic as the day is long, and he's going to be a true sophomore, so he brings a lot to his table with his speed, his length, and his size, obviously. So running back-wise, last year we lost Dominic Gibson, a 1,200-yard rusher. We returned Thomas Bowles from Lakeland, Florida. Little old thing, only 165 pounds, soaking wet. However, he's probably pound for pound the strongest guy on the team, and there's a reason why we call him Jit, because he's like a little jitterbug out there. He's hard to bring down. So we also have a grad transfer, Mario Pender from Florida State, that will join us. He's already there, so excited to see what he can bring to the table. Defensively, I wish we did return 8 starters. However, due to some grades and some transferring, we only returned 4 starters. So that is a little bit of a question mark right now. However, I'm very confident in our defense coordinator, Blake Tasker, our defensive staff, and we have done a great job. My staff has done a great job in the recruiting aspect of it, and we'll be okay. I truly believe that. In the backfield, we have a 3-year starter, Mr. Tay Twine, standing back over there. So he is going to man the backfield. Defensive line, Austin Hill, he's a 3-year starter as well from Marshall University. He's a West Virginia boy, and he's good. He's not only a leader on the field, but in the classroom and in the community. Linebacker, we returned 1 starter. He's a 3-year starter as well, in Will Mays from Nicholas County, West Virginia. He's had an extremely great offseason. He's lost some weight. He's got bigger. He's got faster. So we are really excited about that. We have obviously had a couple freshmen come in and some transfers that we're looking forward to seeing what they can do as well. So especially, obviously, our kicking game wasn't very well last year. We left 17 points on the field last year, and when you lose 5 games for 8 points or less, that's a couple wins right there. So, again, coaching staff did a great job bringing some kickers in. We have 1 transfer in Justin Watts, and we have a very phenomenal young guy, Noah Wilson, coming in from Florida that we got better just because of those 2 guys right there. So, again, we are very excited to kick the season off. We start practice tomorrow, and really looking forward to it. We have 83% of our guys are going to be freshmen and sophomore. 83%. So we have some upperclassmen, but it's their job, it's our coach's job to get them off on the right foot. And as long as we come in with great attitudes, great work ethics, and we're accountable and we compete every day, we're going to be successful. I truly believe that. Thank you. Go Blue.
West Virginia Wesleyan head coach Del Smith increased the Bobcats' win total by 2 in his first year, from 2 and 4. And last year, the program moved forward again with 5 wins. Bobcats did lose several key players from solid defense, but do return several offensive playmakers, helped the program on the upward trajectory. Now with the preview of the Bobcats beginning his 3rd season, the Buchanan, Del Smith.
Thanks, Travis, and thanks to the entire staff of the Mountain East Conference. You know, as we look back, our program is on track for the vision that we set in 2016. And in our first year, 2016, we lost 5 games by less than a touchdown. And our goal that year was just to take a 2-8 football team and make them more competitive. And you fast forward to last year, 2017, we played 20 freshmen. We won some close games that we didn't win the year before, and we finished 500 in the league. And I think a young football team learned 2 critical lessons last year. One, just because you start fast and win a couple games early, you certainly haven't arrived, and you need to prepare harder to manage success going forward. And secondly, regardless of injuries, later in the season, if you've got a tight plan and your guys are locked in and you go and execute, you can beat the teams in the top third of this league. And you know, fast forwarding to 2018, this year, in a lot of ways, I feel like this is the most complete roster that we've had to date. At quarterback, with us here today is a 5th-year senior, Luke Casey. Extremely confident and comfortable. He's mature. He's won games for us. That's exciting as a coach to have that coming back. When you look in our backfield, Devin Montgomery and Dante Satcher, you know, Devin, I think, finished pretty highly ranked in the league in rushing yards. He went for 238 in the opener and 310 in the final. So he had some injuries in the middle of the year, and we're hoping that a healthy Devin throughout the course of the year can provide a dual threat rushing attack for us with the addition of Dante Satcher, who's a sub 1100. Wide receiver-wise, we returned 7 receivers that have double-digit catches from last year, led by Kenny Lewis with 43. We have 4 of 5 offensive linemen returning. Our center, Ryan Jackson, I believe has started in 30-plus games straight. So offensively, we feel pretty sound about the product that we return. Defensively, 3 or 4 starters on the defensive line, led by Mon Speed, who's with us here today. He's a rising junior. He was a member of our inaugural recruiting class. Harry Lewis, who's been with us for 2 years now and transferred from Virginia Tech, will anchor the inside. You know, when you look at the back end, your linebacker and your defensive backs, we're going to have a mix of veterans and some young talent there. I can say this, we've gotten a lot longer over the last 2 years. We've gotten faster back there. And it's really going to be up to our coaching staff, I think, to get some young guys ready to play again. But that's an exciting group from a skill set perspective. We're hoping that it shows up, you know, in our opener Saturday against Concord. In the kicking game, another little bit of an unknown, but certainly not early in the year, is Juwan Lindsay. You know, he played in the first 3 games for us, averaged 27.5 yards per punt return and 25.2 yards for kickoff return, and had 3 touchdowns in the first 3 games. Also suffered a knee injury, didn't come back until week 11 and was a little tentative at that point. So a healthy Juwan throughout the course of the year should provide us, you know, we've been pretty explosive in the kicking game, whether it be blocking kicks or in our return game for the last 2 years. So hopefully that provides us an edge. And Tyler Fisher, our punter and kicker, is also back. You know, and at the end of the day, when you look at it, we've been picked for this is the 3rd year in a row. We've been picked 7th, 8th, or 9th, and we keep finishing higher every year. So we're excited for the challenge and certainly appreciate the coverage by the people in this room and look forward to seeing you this year. Thank you.
Year after going 6-5, UVA-wise went 5-6 last year with all 5 wins coming, games decided by 10 points or less. Cavaliers have several weapons in wideout Keon Duverger and kick returner Marquise Hamilton. Donovan Montague will lead the defense after earning second-team All-MEC honors a year ago at linebacker, posting 8.5 sacks and 16.5 tackles for loss. Starting his 3rd season with the UVA-wise Cavaliers, please welcome head coach Dane Dameron.
Thank you. It's good to be here today. It's not an easy trip to get here from the mountains of Southwest Virginia, but somehow I seem to, all the trips we make up here during the year, somehow the breadcrumbs still stay and I find my way up here. But we're excited. You know, year 3 we feel like is a year that we need to make an improvement, which is a good thing. We feel like we're poised to do that. But the bad thing is, as you're going to hear from my 10 other colleagues up here, there's a lot of good football to be played in this league. A lot of great coaches who I enjoy talking with and having a good time with, but there's a lot of good players in this league. So to say it's a year you're going to have to improve, you know, like I said, that's a double-edged sword because there's a lot of good football in this league and a lot of quality young men and a lot of great coaches who every Thursday night or Saturday night when you're playing, you know, you're going to have a quality game as was mentioned by the number of close games that we've played in the 2 years that I've had the good fortune of being the head coach at UVA-wise. We're 11-11. Some could say we could have won more one year. We sure could have lost a lot of games that first year, and last year was the same thing. So we know we got to get better. We know where we got to get better at, and we're excited about the opportunity to do that. I got a great coaching staff who does a great job and gives our team a chance to win every single day, every single Saturday that we take the field, and I think that's all you can ask for. The thing that I love about the game of football is you're tested 11 times. You're tested 11 times during the year, and each 7-day week is a life in itself. And so you never know. One Monday you might be doing one thing, and the next Monday you may have a totally different team that you got to try to go out there and win with. And so it's fun. We look forward to the opportunity. And hopefully, you know, I think in the 2 years that we've been there, defense has been our calling card. And as was mentioned, we feel like Donovan Montague's got to have a great year for us. He's grown into a leadership role. That's one thing that we tried to do a lot in this offseason was talk about leadership, and we hope that he does that. Secondary-wise, Marquise Hamilton, who was mentioned, should be our free safety. He's also one of the best, one of the better, if not the best, kickoff return man around. He had 2 or 3 touchdowns last year, and you know that's definitely been an offensive play for us the last couple of years. I don't have any idea how the new kickoff rules are going to apply to that. I hope he doesn't fair catch too many of them, but I'll take the ball on the 25-yard line, as most of these guys probably would too, every opportunity they can get. Demetrius Mann, play corner for us, does a good job. Young man from Florida. He's pretty good at press coverage. Just got to quit getting some penalties. He tends to grab a little bit, but don't we all? Trevor Owens will be our kicker. He's done a good job for us. He got hurt his first year, and then last year he's stepped in and handled both of those for us, kicking and punting, and he's got to do a good job for that this year for us too, and we're counting on him to do that. Offensively, we're going to have a battle at quarterback. Bryson Lee is back. He started several games for us. I don't know the exact number, but he's won a lot of football games for us at UVA-wise, but he's going to be pushed by two other young men, and we're expecting a great battle. They're at the quarterback position. I think we fell into a position last year where we had two quarterbacks, and I think if you got two quarterbacks, you don't have any. And we need one of those guys to step up and take the reins. Excited about what we can be on the offensive line. I mean, we return all 5 starters, and they've played a whole lot of football for them. They've gotten bigger and stronger, and so we're excited about that and what they have a chance to do for us on the offensive line. We're excited about our tight end position. We feel like Jacob Barnett has a chance to be one of the top tight ends in the league. He's going to be a junior kid locally there from Union High School in Big Stone Gap, Virginia. We got to get him the ball more. There's no question. When we win football games, you can go back and look to see that number 89 had a whole lot of catches for us. Kyan Duverger at wide out. We feel like he's a playmaker for us. Big tall drink of water, and he goes up. He's got as good as ball skills as anybody's ever seen, but he's got to get stronger and got to become more disciplined in what he's going to do. But he has a chance to be a really good one for us. And as Coach Smith said, trying to get a program turned around to where we got to get it to, it all goes back to recruiting and what you're going to try to recruit. And we've tried to recruit length, and we've tried to recruit speed. And we feel like this coming class and the 2 classes before that, we feel like we've done that. But they're the freshmen that we're counting on playing. They're freshmen, and the best thing about freshmen is they become sophomores. The bad part about that is they got to wait 365 days for that to happen. And so we're going to be counting on some freshmen. We're always going to be counting on freshmen, I think, as most of us are. And so we've got to get those guys up to speed really quick and hope that they buy in to what we got to do and they have the opportunity to make some plays. I don't think what we've done the last 2 years at UVA-wise would have been possible without our chancellor, Donna Henry. She's done an incredible job and gave us the resources that we need to try to compete. And the athletic director, Kendall Rainey, has done a great job of helping me out. And like I said, we got a great staff. But we're excited, but who knows what's going to happen. We think we've got a chance to have a really good football team, as do all these coaches sitting up here with me right now. They all feel the same way. So I've yet to come to one of these where somebody says we're going to suck, we're not going to win a game. We have no players, and I don't even know why we're going to take the field. And so everybody's optimistic right now. Our kids report tomorrow, start practice on Sunday. So it's an exciting time of year. It's kind of like Christmas. I look forward to seeing our kids show up on campus, and hopefully they look forward to seeing us too. But we're excited, and I thank everybody for being here. Wish these guys all good luck as they look to try to do the same thing that we're going to do. And good luck. Thank you guys for being here.
West Liberty checks in at 6th in this year's poll, despite coming off a 3-8 season. But last year, the Hilltoppers were in 7 games decided by 14 points or less. West Liberty brings back starts all-conference honorees Logan Derry and Cliff Clark on defense, and they've added offensive coordinator Mike Keller to the coaching staff to help spark the offensive unit. Here to tell us more about the Hilltoppers of West Liberty entering his 14th season, now the Dean of MEC Coaches, head coach Roger Wiley.
I don't know if I'm the dean. I still think Pricey was here a year before me in this conference. Very honored to be here. I'd like to thank, Reed and his staff, Allie, Adam, Gabby, and Hannah, and hopefully we can send our condolences to Hannah. She's going through a tough time with her family. So if you can keep her in her prayers tonight. For us, I've been pretty fortunate at West Liberty that I haven't had to go through a whole lot of staff changes. And after spring football, one of my stalwarts, or he's been my right-hand man for 14 years, has been Brad Forshee, and he elected to take another job within the institution. So for the first time in my career, I've had to replace somebody. And we feel pretty fortunate that we brought in Brian Hill, who's a West Virginia native, graduated from Glenville, has coached on many staffs in the conference and also around the country. Then also I decided that I was tired of doing all the work, and Coach Dameron hit me hard last year when he fired himself as the special teams coordinator, so I did the same thing as the offensive coordinator. So we brought in Mike Keller, who's been the head coach in this conference, Cal PA, Lenore Ryan, and also been an offensive coordinator in this conference and places in Michigan and other places. So, you know, again, we brought him in for a spark, but the same thing we brought him in is because he sees football the same way I do. And I think that was the biggest reason I was able to let go of what I've done since 1992 at West Liberty, is because I found somebody that sees it the same way. But going on to our team, it was like we had 3 recruiting classes, and I think I said this to our sports information office. We were able to bring in a good freshman class. We were able to get some transfers. But more importantly, we were able to get kids that we had to redshirt last year that have started for us over the last 2 years. And that's probably going to have the biggest impact on our team if we're able to keep them healthy. Starting offensively, you know, we had high hopes for Charles Westbrook, who was a Division I transfer, got hurt in the second game and tried to play in the third game, and, you know, he had the red shirt. And then Shane Phillips, who played for us 2 years ago, as a wide receiver, transfer from Penn State, didn't get to play at all last year. So again, we're looking, a lot of times when you're looking at transfers and freshmen, you don't know what you're going to get. Well, our third recruiting class, we know what we have coming back. Probably for the first time in a long time, we have 4 starters returning on the offensive line, which normally we have 1 to 2 each year. We got 4 coming back. All 4 tight ends are coming back. Big question mark for us, and I think anybody up here, and I've had one of the best in the country, and I've had some of the worst, but for us at West Liberty, it depends on quarterback play. We have 3 guys that all have Division II starting experience. Transfer Zach Phillips, transferred in from Gannon. There was a 2-year starter there. Lucas O'Connor, who started for us last year when Colabella got hurt, and Colabella, who was our starter to start the season last year. So they'll be vying for the quarterback job at West Liberty, and that's like Mike sees it the same way. But if they're equal, we're going to play them equal and go with the hot hand, or if somebody separates himself, that's who we're going with. So we're pretty fortunate to have an experienced bunch coming back at quarterback. Go to the defensive side, which Travis hit on. We returned Clifford Clark, who was first-team all-conference linebacker, led the conference in tackles. This is his last go-around. But, one of the things I'm most proud of him is his schedule is unbelievable. Being a nursing major, having to do clinicals, having to do all the things he has to do just to get to the football field. And he's one that gets it done. And I guess that's been the biggest philosophy in our program, is the guys that get it done off the field normally get it done on the field for us. And that's what we encourage our student athletes to do. And we returned Logan Deary in the backfield, who was a freshman player of the year 2 years ago. And then we got a bunch of guys with a lot of experience in the secondary. Brandon Gaither started games. Larry Fontalisa started games. Nate Solomon started games. Josh Ojo. So we got a big mix of guys that I don't really know who's going to play. Going back to our third recruiting class, we get Trevor Hoosier back, who played for us 1 game, played 1 quarter last year. I believe his stat line was he had 6 tackles, 3 for loss. And trying to run off the field, he turned and tore his ACL, was done. But you're coming back. Cody Ryan up front is also coming back. We have graduate transfer Stephen Bundy from Arizona State. So we're, the cupboard's not bare, even though we graduated a lot of guys. We graduated 4 guys up front from last year's team. Switching over to special teams, which is the most important part of this game. We've been very fortunate enough to have Austin Yockey, who's our starting center, that has snapped every long snap, every PAT for the last 3 years. And, I'm sure all these coaches would agree, when you can go to sleep at night knowing you got a long snapper that's going to do everything. Returning for kicking is Christian Morris, who's been a 3-year starter for us, but we do have another kicker. We started a men's soccer program, so we got a kicker coming out from the men's soccer team that has had experience kicking all through high school. So our cupboard, isn't bare, but, I guess the exciting thing for me is the kids who lost their opportunities to play over the last couple of years are finally healthy enough to play. And anybody that sits up here and tells you everything for this conference comes down to line play and quarterback play. Your quarterbacks can take care of the football. Your line can dominate up front. You're going to win a lot of football games. So there's no secret to this conference, and all these guys are great coaches, and we have a great conference. in the MEC. So thank you for your time, and especially thanks the media for coming. Appreciate it.
West Virginia State is picked 5th in the MEC after coming off a 6-5 season. The program's most wins in a season in nearly a decade. Quarterback Matt Kinnick has graduated, but Austin Hensley appears to be ready to take over the reins of one of the nation's best offenses as the season gets going, along with Offensive Freshman of the Year, Khalil Wilkins. A key for West Virginia State's season could be to play the defense, 6 returners on that side of the ball from a year ago. Please welcome to the podium, beginning his second season, head coach John Pennington.
All right, first off, I want to thank Reed Amos and his exceptional leadership. Does a great job with our coaches. We have some of the best coaches in Division II football. Firmly believe that, and very grateful to be a part of this group up here. It's honestly an honor and a privilege. It's an exciting time to be at West Virginia State right now. We have the first winning season in almost a decade. We have 16 returning starters back, and only 3 of those young men are going to be seniors. So got a lot of talent and experience on our roster for the next 2 years. So we're very excited. Yellow Jacket Nation's excited, and especially our defense. Last year, defense struggled to stop the run. So we were able to bring in 3 transfers, a linebacker to really bolster that run defense. And we pretty much got a year older at every other position. So we're especially excited about our defense, and we're a lot older, we're more mature, and we're a lot physically bigger. So Coach Shell's done a great job on that side of the ball. In the kicking game, we have one of the best kickers, I believe, in the country. Created some turnovers, made a lot of kicks last year, and we got a lot of great young players on our team that want to fly around and impact the game. Offensively, we graduated our all-time leading passer, but we got a great young man to step into that role and lead that offense. He's started a few games himself and actually holds a couple records at our school in the passing game. So he's ready to step in. We also have 3 all-conference O-linemen coming back. We have the freshman of the year at running back coming back, and then we have some valuable experience at wide receiver also returning. But, honestly, all that stuff is irrelevant. The records, the predictions, returning starters, it's all irrelevant. We're not focused on any of that stuff. We're not focused on winning a championship. We're on a mission to build the toughest, most connected football team in the country. That's it. That's our focus as a team. I'm very grateful that our 3 young men would come up here, but we're focused on our team and where we're headed on our mission. So if we can do that, we're going to have a great season. If we let things distract us from our mission, then we're going to be right back to where we were. So we're excited to get started on a mission together. We're excited to play some football, and I'm thankful that everyone will come out here today. Thank you.
Picked 4th this season, University of Charleston Golden Eagles. UC went 4-6 last year, largely on the strength of the defensive unit led by John Kaminsky, who was back for another year after ranking among the nation's leaders with 23 tackles for loss a year ago. UC ranked among the conference's leaders in rushing yards per game last year on the offensive side. Getting ready for his 8th season at the University of Charleston, please welcome head coach Matt Kirkland.
Thank you to Reed and Adam and the Mountain East staff. Tremendous job. Thank you to all the media that came out today. Every year we come back, and I think what we're seeing in the Mountain East Conference right now is each season it's getting better and better and better. The talent, the players that are out there, the coaching staffs, the resources that schools are dedicated to their football programs. Each week now, it used to be the conference, we had some tier teams. Now each week you've got to make sure that you're prepared to play, and anything can happen. And we've learned that in the past. Last year, I believe we lost 4 games by 5 points or less. And at that time, it was extremely, extremely difficult and frustrating after having such high expectations. Looking back at it now, I think we can take a lot from that, understanding how close we were. And I do believe that you win with great people in your program and a tremendous staff. I'm very fortunate to have a great staff. They go out there and they recruit great talent, and I ask them to develop that talent when it comes onto campus. And we've been able to do that. When you're able to get good people and surround yourself with great people in your program, it gives you a chance. And since I've been at the University of Charleston, I do believe this is probably the most experience and talent And we have tremendous character in our program, which I'm excited about. And I think that gives you an opportunity, that puts you in a position to win each week. And our guys have bought into that process of the preparation every single week, which is highlighted next year. And I'm extremely excited to say that we open up 5 weeks in a row on Thursday night. And I believe it creates a tremendous atmosphere, a lot of excitement. Our players embrace that challenge, and I look forward to that moving forward. Getting to the personnel that we have now, I think most of our experience is on the defensive side of the ball, definitely up front. I think we returned 2 of the best defensive ends in Division II football, and John Kaminsky and Cousin Daniels. My job is to make sure that we keep those guys healthy, and behind them, we've got 3 senior linebackers returning, highlighted by Jalen Nelson, C.J. Bagwell in the middle, and Keon Maben playing the will backer. So I feel great about what we have up front, and I'm a firm believer defensively you better be able to stop the run. And now we couple that with a back end where we've got some experience, highlighted by 2 seniors at corner that have a lot of playing experience in Cedric Amati, Jonte Pooler. And our safety now, we're going to have some competition and some younger guys will be playing at that position. But I think we've got a lot of talent to choose from. So I'm excited about what we bring back on defense. Those kids play fast, they play discipline, and they play very physical, which you need to have good team defense. Offensively, we return Mason Olszewski, which I believe you're seeing the trend in college football is you better have a guy back there with some experience at quarterback that can make good decisions pre-snap. And he definitely does that. He's a radiology major. He's now in the master's program. He's been in this system now for quite some time. And pre-snap, he can put us in a position to have success. Defenses now are so diverse, especially in the back end. You better have a guy that can make good decisions and where to go with the football. So I'm excited about Mason and to see what he can do this year. Up front, we returned 3 of 5 starters. Probably the best is our right guard, Justin Richards, coming back for his senior year. And then on the perimeter, DeAndre Brooks at receiver, coupled with Tariq McAllister, I think gives Mason some options on the perimeter to go to. Tailback, as of right now, it's going to be a competition during camp. Probably front runner, right now is Kane Roush from Wahama, West Virginia. We did bring in a couple mid-year guys that have had a great spring, and they'll compete with them. But I'm excited about the players that we have. I think you're seeing college football change a little bit more where these players need to embrace the process every single week and embrace the grind. It's not as much as getting out there and banging every day in practice. They have to treat this thing and embrace the preparation that goes into it on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, just so when you get to that game, whether it's Thursday or Saturday afternoon, you're putting yourself in a position to be successful. And I believe with the amount of experience that we're bringing back, our players have bought into that process, which definitely puts us in a position to win football games. And I do know, like I said, this conference, it's competitive. And we've seen that with the success that it's had in the national playoffs. And each week, it's exciting to see how these games play out. And I think your players have to understand it's not like basketball or soccer or baseball where you get 27, 29 opportunities. You can't afford in football to have a bad day. You can't. And that's why the little things are important. And that's what's getting your players to buy into that system. And I'm excited about the group that we have. There's definitely some competition that's going to take place during camp, which I think is going to breed success. And now what we've got to do is also just develop, a little bit of depth at those positions. Because very seldom do you see the same 11 that start game 1 finishing that last week of the season. So some of these young guys are going to have to step up and play a big role for us, and I hope they embrace that challenge. I'm extremely encouraged, excited about this season. I do wish everybody the best of luck up here. There's some tremendous coaches that I've known for a long time. And, what we do is we put a lot of time and effort into these players. I'm blessed to be at a university that I take a lot of pride in because I do believe that when our guys leave, whether it's football, academic, we've put them in a position where they can move forward, pursue their professional endeavors, and have an opportunity to do so because of their time at the University of Charleston. So everybody, wish you the best of luck. with 1 week exception. And thank you. I appreciate you.
There's a little separation in the top three of the poll this year. Notre Dame checks in at third. Notre Dame graduates one of the most productive players in conference history in quarterback Malik Grove, but returned several key members to the offensive line and skilled players in the backfield to help average 230 yards rushing per game last season. Notre Dame's defense, which was one of the best units last year, brings back 9 starters as the Falcons were on the outside of the playoff picture a year ago. Now to tell us more about the Falcons, Notre Dame College head coach Mike Jacobs.
Thank you. How is everybody today? Good? Very fortunate to stand here today and represent Notre Dame College as a head football coach going into year 3, which is kind of crazy for me to even think about that. Took this thing over late May of 2016 and kind of been running with it since. But we have fantastic college, work for great people in President Tom Krusek and Scott Swain that have given us the resources to be competitive in an extremely competitive conference. And for us, it's just to continue on our process. There is no formula. You know, I'm the son of a coach. My dad was a coach for 30-some-odd years. My grandfather's in the Ohio High School Hall of Fame, did it for 50 years. And I believe in the same thing those guys did. I don't know if I'm screwed up, but at the end of the day, you're going to play a Notre Dame college football team. We're going to try to control the line of scrimmage. We're going to run the football, period. I've been the head coach for 2 years now. We've led the Mountain East in rushing both years. We're going to continue to recruit big physical guys that relish the physicality of playing football. We're very fortunate to have a good group of offensive linemen back this year. On that side of the ball, just kind of start there. It starts with our center, Austin Trainiff. He's an academic All-American, was a first-team All-Conference player for us last year. He's going to be a senior. Some young guys that we feel are going to add a lot of depth. And then we have a stable of running backs that we're very blessed to have. DJ Green's coming off a catastrophic knee injury, and he's still rehabbing and doing well and on time with his progression. But, Brian Walker and Nehemiah Brown are both going to be seniors also, and both those guys stepped in and had tremendous seasons for us last year. Brian Walker was close to a 1,000-yard rusher, and Nemo averaged, I think, 10 yards a carry or close to it. On the outside there, a wideout, certainly Marvell Ross returns. He's one of the most dynamic return men in the conference. We also think he's a special player on the outside of receiver. Tay Johnson's going to be a senior for us also. Does a great job for us, really. Our unknown is the quarterback position. These guys are all happy Malik's gone. I'm trying to figure it out for the first time in 4 years. Malik Grove isn't going to take a snap for us under center. So we're looking forward to a quarterback battle these next 30 days or so during training camp, leading into a week 1 opener against Shepherd. But we're excited about it, and our makeup isn't going to change, man. We're going to run the football. We're going to try to be physical and at least make you feel like you've had to work for what you got that day on offense. Defensively, we're excited. We have a number of young men back. Obviously, a big loss in Claudie Matthews with the Miami Dolphins now. It's kind of the same thing. It seems like he started here forever for us as a 4-year starter, but we're excited about the guys that we got back. First-team all-conference linebacker R.J. Goodwin is a returning team captain for us. He's here today, does a fantastic job. He's a leader of that unit. From the second level up front, I think one of our new leaders is really going to be Vince Ellis, and he's also here today. Vince is a guy that's played an awful lot of football for us over the last 4 years, and I think when you talk about the direction that our program's going and what maybe I may be the most proud of is that we're developing people on and off the field. The 2 guys I just talked about were both walk-on kids. Vince was 190 pounds when he got there. He led the Senate League, had 20-some sacks his senior year. He's a 190-pound kid that's 248 pounds right now. So to put the time and effort in a strength and conditioning program, RJ, same deal as a kid that was a walk-on, didn't play much. Both of them are now scholarship players, and they're fantastic for us. So to put the work in the development of our guys, you're seeing it over the course of time. I keep hearing you guys talk about transfers. We must have missed that high school this year on the road recruiting. We don't have many of them, but we certainly are very proud of the guys that we have. We're going to be physical up front. We have a bunch of returning starters there. We feel like, stopping the pass is something that we have to get better at, and we'll have more competition in the defensive backfield than we've ever had this season. And, certainly you can't leave out the kicking game. It's the most important phase. Everybody talks about it. But, at the end of the day, we've had a couple blocked field goals or a blocked extra point that have really cost our team greatly the last 2 seasons from accomplishing some bigger goals for us as a part of that. We're excited about our special teams. Tanner Harding returns as kicker. He's a freshman for us last year. I think he was 9 of 11, but extremely accurate. What's great about him is he's not your typical kicker. He's not kind of goofy kid that kind of hangs out by himself. He's a guy that actually likes to lift and get after it, and he's kind of one of the guys, so I really enjoyed coaching him. The biggest loss for us may be our punter, Anton Vrebeck. He was a 4-year starter, kid that I thought maybe had a shot at the NFL, so we'll have to find a replacement for him in the next 30 days as we're looking for a quarterback too. But again, we couldn't be more excited about the direction of our program, the support of our administration. To me, it all comes back to, recruiting, retention, and development. And we've proven to be able to develop some guys. We've been able to retain at a higher level than we've ever had before, both players and, as these guys know, coaching staff. The retainment of our coaching staff is critical, so the teaching's similar each year, and you can have a plan. But then certainly the recruitment of young guys, and we're going to count on certain freshmen. Maybe we shouldn't, but we're going to count on certain freshmen just like everybody up here, and we're excited to see what value those guys have. But at the end of the day, they're going to add more depth, and we will be a deeper team than we've ever been top to bottom. We may not have the guys that have had the starts over the course of the long haul, but we will have a talented team that will have great depth. And again, we're going to be physical. We're going to try to dominate the line of scrimmage, and we're just going to play good football. This is a great conference. I enjoy being in a conference where you have to prepare both schematically and from a mental standpoint each week to play in physical, tough games and challenging situations against great coaches and great teams. And that's a testament to the guys on the stage and, more importantly, the players sitting in the back here, because none of us are worth anything other than what you guys are. You guys make everything go. So looking forward to a great season, my 3rd in the MEC, fantastic staff, great kids, excited about the direction and where we're going. I wish all you guys the best of luck, and we'll have a great year.
Like Notre Dame, Fairmont State was in the playoff mix up until the very last week of the regular season a year ago. Nearly missed a berth. Falcons were 8-3 a year ago with 3 losses, coming by a combined 14 points. Fairmont State has 9 starters back on offense, and the Falcons have plenty of star power on the defensive side of the ball, with 6 players earning all MEC honors a year ago. Please welcome to the podium the head football coach at Fairmont State University, Jason Woodland.
Thanks, Travis. First off, I want to thank Reed, Hannah, Adam, and Gabby for one more year doing a remarkable job at this conference, and something that we're proud to be a part of at Fairmont State. Also, thanks to the media for coming out and making this a good event for all of us. This is the longest I've had to wait to talk. This is the highest that we've been picked to finish in the conference preseason-wise, and I'm going to echo a lot of what these guys have already said. I'm sitting there. Seems like everything they said, I had that in mind to talk about. So this will be short and sweet. For us, preseason rankings never have meant much, and they don't mean much to us right now either. We're going to keep continuing to focus day by day, continue to get better. With that in mind, we're heading into our 6th season, and I have to admit that I'm really proud of where the program's gone and where we're at right now. And a lot of that's due to the coaches and the players and the dedication from them and their families, and it's something I'm very proud to be a part of, and something that means a lot to me. Coming off last year, we feel like we underachieved. We still feel like we have something to prove, and with the talent that we have coming back, we feel like we have a chance to be pretty good. But again, we're going day by day and going to see what happens. Our season outlook, there's still a number of question marks for us too. The biggest ones are going to be up front on both sides of the football. We've had new coaches hired on both sides up front, offensive line and defensive line. That should be interesting to see what happens early on and kind of getting that gel to happen in that position room. Also, we're probably the youngest that we've been since we started here. We have 6 seniors this year, and like Eric mentioned earlier about playing true freshmen, we had to play 21 true freshmen last year. So overall, from top to bottom, we're really sophomores and junior heavy. And again, it's anytime you're playing young guys in this conference, it's always going to be a challenge. I feel like this conference is probably as competitive as it's ever been. Seems like it gets better and better every week. You have to really be on top of your game, or you have a chance to lose. Last year we finished 8-3. 3 of those 8 wins came on last-second field goals. So we're 3 plays away from being 5-6, and our team knows that, and our team remembers that, and we constantly talk about it, and hopefully we can continue to improve overall. I usually don't single out players. For us, it's all about team. I do have 3 guys here with me who, part of that group of dedicated players and coaches. They've been here for a while. We have 2 all-conference defensive players in Jerry Eway and Stephen Turner here with us today, and then Taquan Cruz-Naylor, our quarterback, who came in the last 4 games and did a remarkable job for us and ended up finishing 4-0 in the season. So those 3 guys, hopefully we lean on a good bit this year. We're expecting them to walk in and be leaders from day one and continue to make our team better overall. Other than that, guys, we're focusing on practice this weekend. We have a big challenge on the road, August 31st. We got to travel to Easton, Massachusetts, and play Stonehill College. So after that, then I get to worry about these guys up here. For now, I'm going to try to forget about them as much as I can and focus on our team. But wish you guys all the best of luck, and thanks again for coming out.
Shepherd is the preseason favorite in the Mountain East Conference poll. Along with the challenge of taking over for legendary head coach Monty Cater, new head coach Ernie McCook will have plenty of other challenges ahead of him in his first season, replacing both the league's offense and defensive players of the year from last season. Rams, though, bring back standouts Ryan Feiss, Wanya Allen, also Jaime Colon, DJ Cornish on offense, as well as Juwan Neal and Chris Lane on defense. Please welcome to the podium the new head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook.
I want to start out by thanking Reed and his staff for a great day putting this event together. Obviously, as a rookie head coach, and only hearing stories about it by Coach Cater because he would never invite me to come. He left me at home. It's held up, and it's met every expectation. We've replaced a lot of really good players in the last 3 years. We still have a lot of good players that we believe in, that are still on the roster, that are going to be leaders for us, but replacing Monty Cater may be the toughest thing, and I'm going to take that task on. I am 100% thrilled to be the head football coach at Shepherd University. It's a place I've been since 1999. It's a school that me and my family have embraced, and to be the head football coach there is a true honor, and I want to represent our university and also this conference this year in a first-class way. And it got real for me early when I became the head football coach. I'm January, Coach Cater steps down, I'm named the head football coach. I go to my first recruiting event outside of Baltimore, and I'm walking around pretty proud. I'm the head football coach at Shepherd. I'm evaluating recruits, and I'm standing there, and I hear something said behind me, and I wasn't quite sure what it was, but it was odd. And all of a sudden, I got this tremendous pain in my right shin. And I looked down, and this little kid kicked me in the shin. And then I realized the voice was Coach Woodman over there. And Coach Woodman told Brody, I think it was, go up and kick this guy in the shins. Well, sure enough, Brody walked up with his, I think they were LeBrons, and kicked me right square in the shin, and the pain was crazy. It was unreal. So I really got a fast start on how everybody feels about me and Shepherd University in the conference, thanks to Coach Woodman over there. I went through, when I was named the head coach, 2 things were pretty important. One, the team sees me as a head coach, hears my voice, understands the direction that I want to lead the team, and our staff and we all work together in cohesiveness. We had a challenging off-season with scheduling, with weather, trying to fit our winter workouts in, our spring practices, but our team was very resilient over that time. They really worked hard in kind of preparing for this upcoming season, and our staff has been remarkable. We lost 2 offensive coaches in June. I was able to hire a couple guys that, man, I really feel good about as a football coach. You know, in June when your staff sits there and you look at them and then you lose a couple guys that you're kind of preparing for the season, then you're able to have to go through the searching, finding replacements. And last night I can tell you, as I thought about coming here today, one of the things I'm going to tell you is we have a tremendous staff. And I really am excited to work with those guys each day in and out. Our whole defensive staff is back, led by our defensive coordinator, Josh Klein, and his group of guys. Offensively, we were able to hire Ty Hyatt from Frostburg State University as our offensive coordinator, and we were able to put some nice pieces together as it goes. Our program is going to be built on, we will embrace the process, but our program is going to be built on playing very sound fundamental football, and we're going to build ourselves playing great defense. That's the expectation of Shepherd. That's not only under myself, that's how it was under Coach Cater, and I even think Coach Barr before him. In the defensive backfield, we're led by DeJuan Neal, who's here with us today. DeJuan's a senior defensive back. He will be a leader on that side of the football, the back end. DeJuan is a corner. He can plug himself into multiple spots there, but we're looking forward to his leadership. We also have at the other corner Chris Jones from Baltimore, Maryland. Will do a great job there for us, and we feel pretty good about those 2 guys. The safeties will be Ponce de Leon, who was a returning, played as a true freshman, grew up fast, became a leader of our defense, studies it, works hard at it, and we're looking for strides by Michael Blackman Herbert on the back end. Our middle group is going to, our mainstay in there is going to be a kid named Chris Lane. Chris Lane has a lot of ability. Probably his greatest ability is going to be his dependability and his leadership and his passion and desire. Really expect Delonte Berry, local kid, to play the other inside linebacker, along with David Eppert and Deontay Glover, who we've moved from running back to defense and had a great spring getting better through that time. Up front, we've got a really solid defensive line, which is kind of our mindset there. The 2 returning starters inside will be Ricky Robinson and Scott Dixon, and also Jalen Hessen is a true freshman we think will come in and compete and be able to push there. Defensive end-wise, we've got a guy that we've compared to some of our better players in the past, a kid named Malik Holloway. I think he's going to be able to do some great things for us, but also Tata Nende, who's played inside, outside, has done a great job there for us. And then on the other defensive end spot, Jawan Addison, Hassan Marshall, and Kyle Smith will all compete to kind of get reps there as it goes. Special teams wise, we've got a great punter from Morgantown, Ruan Venter. He's back finishing up. I had a chance to graduate, sticking around. Really pleased with that. He's going to be here and holding that down. We do need to replace our place kicker. That was perfect in all our extra points last year. Really have great. We're going to miss him and our long snapper. So we've got those guys that are going to have to really step up and go there as it goes. On the offensive side of the ball, we have with us Ryan Feiss. He'll be leading the receiving corps along with Wanye Allen, and also we feel we have a really solid tight end that could be attached, or we could move him out and split him out, and DJ Cornish. Those guys I think will give us great leadership there. We have a transfer grad student, a kid named Brian Matthews, who was here for the spring, did a great job, but we're going to have a lot of young guys that are going to have to develop at that position and kind of grow. Running back wise, we'll have a new starter at running back. We had the spring was led by a kid named Ty Hebron. He redshirted last year, but he really grew up in the spring, and his development over the next 2.5, 3 weeks is going to be very key to us. Probably the group I'm really appreciative of, and it starts with is our offensive line. It starts with Jamie Colon, who's here with us today. He's graduated. He's coming back to play his last year of eligibility. He'll be our starting center. Was All-American candidate there. He's a leader for our kids, a leader for our group that I think has got a chance to be a really solid group. Returning for his third year as a starter will be our right guard, Keandre Batson. We're going to work out Jamie as well at tackle, along with Levi Lloyd. And we've got a redshirt freshman, Joey Fisher, and Isaiah Tate that have got some starting experience over there. And we expect great things from Eric Ostro on the offensive line, Josh Baptist as we go. That's kind of a makeup of our personnel. One thing I can tell you is we know that what a tough conference we're in, how well these guys coach, all the great things that they do. You know that they're going to be prepared. You're going to have to compete week in and week out. We're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to Sunday when our players report so we can get on the practice field on Monday and we can start in our preparation as guys grow up. Probably the one position I didn't touch on, I tried to hide from, and Coach Jacobs kind of just nudged Pat to tell me, hey, what about quarterback? All right, we graduated 2 Harlan Hill finalists over the last couple years. We've got a redshirt sophomore in Stevie Kern who kind of took the lead in those reps here in the spring. But we also have 2 really good freshmen that we really feel are going to be able to compete, and Tyson Bajent from Martinsburg, as well as a kid named Jack Darcy from Lake Braddock in Burke, Virginia. So I think about that quarterback position every day. But the guys that we have around us we are gonna work as a team. We're gonna work to grow. And one of the things that we talk about is our team success and having success together and enjoying the process with that. Our camp goals are we want to hit the ground running. We want to get our team in sync, be prepared for our tough opener on the road at Notre Dame, and just kind of ready to go. This has kind of been a great kickoff time for us and for what our program has and what it means. Football is very important on our campus, and the expectations are high. And our players and coaches need to understand that as we kind of move forward here in 2018. One thing I will say is about football, as I sit up here and kind of reflect on this upcoming season, and as the head coach, football is awesome for the relationships that we build, the friendships and things that you develop within the team, that mindset you have. But it also carries on not just with your team, but I think of these men up here that we compete against. As I've gotten to know them over the years, they've become very good friends of mine and guys that I have a lot of respect and appreciation for. And coming to this event has been kind of like Christmas morning for me because I'm getting a chance to see some guys that I really like and admire. I usually have to wait to game day when we travel to their places or they come to ours that we get a chance to visit and stuff like that. The Mountain East Conference can be very proud of every coach on this table here and what they do and the professionalism that they carry, because I can tell you as somebody that's been a part of this conference and the old West Virginia Conference as a longtime assistant coach, these are great men, and I'm proud to be associated with you guys, and I wish you guys all the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you once again, coaches, for sharing their thoughts, as well as the media for attending today. We'll get the coaches together for a quick photo. After that, media, the coaches, and student athletes will be available for one-on-one interviews. If you have any requests, just see Adam. We'll do our best to accommodate it. Thank you.
No, just come in front of where you are, and we'll push everybody.